It's been just over a year since the Boston Marathon bombings shattered a festive, world-renowned Boston event, killing 3 and severely injuring dozens. Terry Hegarty traveled to Boston and reflects on the aftermath of the bombings. He also tells us about Father Bill Hamilton, a priest of the Diocese of Springfield who served as a chaplain to law enforcement officials in Boston a year ago, and who now, along with his therapy dog, Ted, is helping people cope with the emotional stress associated with such trauma.
It's been more than a year since terrorism struck one of Boston's most popular and beloved events. The Boston Marathon bombings and the frantic manhunt following left 4 dead and hundreds injured. The term Boston Strong, coined after 2 bombs went off near the finish line on Boylston Street, has symbolized the resilience of the people.
For me, Boston Strong means sort of highlighting what America stands for, and that is not allowing fear to determine how you should live or where you should go.
It's almost like a fight to keep yourself not in that mentality where you're kind of always paranoid, but to kind of overcome it but not forget.
Mikhail says that this year's marathon will help people to overcome.
I'm hoping people show up to show that, people have overcome the fear of something like that happening. That's very important.
Not only have security measures here in Boston increased since the 2013 Boston Marathon bombings, so has the resolve of the people here. Area residents are now more determined than ever to stand against such violence. But taking a stand is only part of a healthy response. In addition to the physical tolls, the emotional injuries to many have been just as traumatic. Coping with the stress associated with such violence often requires the help of others. Last year, Reel to Reel traveled to Boston just after the bombings and interviewed Father Bill Hamilton, who was there serving in his role as chaplain for the Massachusetts State Police and the New England region of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Over the last year, Father Bill has traveled to Boston and Watertown to help public safety personnel.
We've been back and forth to Watertown especially with providing continued support. We went 3 months after the bombing, 6 months, and we'll be going back again now that we're coming up to the 1st anniversary.
And sometimes help comes in the form of a furry, 4-legged friend like Father Bill's St. Bernard, Ted. Father Bill has owned the 3-year-old dog for the last 3 months. Ted serves as a therapy dog, comforting people when talking about things may be too much.
He walks in and everybody wants to pet him. Everybody, he loves people, he loves the attention, and he loves loving. I said if I had to do over again, I didn't get to name him. I said I think I would have called him CJ for comfort and joy, because when he comes in, it's all comfort and joy.
Father Bill also serves as chaplain of the Greenfield Police Department and the East Hampton Police and Fire Departments. And while it may seem unusual to see a couple of 140-pound dogs wandering around a public safety complex, Ted is a valued member of the Greenfield Police Department. He also occasionally gets to visit with Clarence, Greenfield Police Officer Laura Gordon's therapy dog. Officer Gordon brought Clarence to Newtown, Connecticut following the Sandy Hook Elementary School shootings. She says that often there are no words to comfort people.
Yeah, when we were in Newtown, Connecticut, there was a lot of silence at times. You're correct, nobody wanted to talk or weren't ready to talk. And what, again, was fascinating is the dogs could sense that. Is sometimes the families, victims, kids, they didn't want to talk to another person. It was easier to talk to a dog. The dog's not going to judge you for what you experience, how you experience, what you're feeling.
Just as people are all different and have their own personalities, so do the canines. And Ted here has demonstrated a clear ability to help other people. Officer Gordon says not all dogs are well suited to this work, but that St. Bernards were bred to help people caught in avalanches.
They don't use them so much for the avalanches anymore, but we like to use them for people that are kind of buried under an avalanche of anxiety.
Father Bill says that this Monday's Boston Marathon will be a celebration and a triumph.
People really want to be there. They want to commit. They're going to say, this is not going to stop us. We're bigger than this. We're stronger than this. We're more resilient than this.
Father Bill is constantly impressed by the dedication and the bravery of public safety personnel.
These people put their lives on the line every single day. And every time they go out of the house, they don't know if they're going to come home. And that's always in the back of their heads. You know, that's always in their minds. It's not talked about that much. But the idea is it is a very dangerous job.
A dangerous job that members of the general public are very grateful such brave individuals are willing to fill, with the help of a few drooling, furry, and loving companions. Reporting for Reel to Reel, this is Terry Hegarty.